changes. Hey there, it's Tara Barot, and welcome to a not so normal episode of Rising Tide podcast. This episode recording is to cover a PDF on changes that I've done. If you don't have the PDF, you can find it in the description. And this is available in audio version on podcast platform or video on YouTube. You get to pick. All right, let's get into it. Why changes? Well, we all have changes in our life. Some changes happen without us choosing, and some we make happen. So I'm talking about the ones that you want to make happen. You could technically use this for changes that are coming your way too. This is a guide that also creates a stronger reason for you to go ahead and go through that change. I've done this workshop in Hong Kong in summer 2022. And it shifts quite a few things internally, and then you can figure out what you want to go for. So let's get started. PDF. I've got my notes, but yeah. All right, first is defining what you want, because you can't go after something if you can't put words to it. So just what has been that one thing in your head that you've been wanting to take action on, but just keep hesitating? It's just something always in the way. Just write it down. Simple. I will keep on talking through the recording, so when I tell you to write something down, make sure you have your device handy so you can put it on pause, and then press play again once you're done writing your thoughts. All right. So making it a bit more clearer, that vision. But first, let's start by where you are at today. By the way, I'm looking at this. What's your current situation? What does that look like? What's all around? And how does that feel? Again, I work on feelings as this will be a guiding force, and you'll realize it at the end of the session. So come on, write it down. Okay. Humans are hardwired to seek pleasure and avoid pain. That's why I'm also going into the emotion, because emotions make you do things, and it's great to know how you can use them to do the things that you want to be doing. So let's go into it. 6 months from now, you've made the change. It's done. What does it look like? And how does it feel? Take your time, write it down. Great. All right, next. Number 3. Why is this change important to you? We all have personal reasons. It might not be something you think of directly as well. It might be an underlying reason in there. One thing that I've noticed is if a change comes from an external reason, meaning it's not from you, it's from somebody else, it's because society's done a certain ways, people are telling you should be doing things, company expects this of you, you can use grit, willpower to make the change happen, but it's going to feel work. It's going to feel hard. And when things are going to be getting tough, because they always are, it's going to be hard for you to keep finding that motivation to keep going because it's an external motivation. So I always go back to The 5 Regrets of the Dying by Bronnie Ware, where this is what the people said, just on their deathbed and their regrets. I wish I'd had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. I wished I hadn't worked so hard. I wish I had the courage to express my feelings. I wish I'd stayed in touch with my friends. And I wish that I let myself be happier. All right. Now, 6 months from now, nothing has changed. You're exactly where you are today. How do you feel? Let that sink in a little bit and write it down. Go deep. You're going to feel stuff. Okay, great. And so now, be honest with yourself. Why did you download this PDF? Why are you watching this video or listening to this audio? What was the motivation for you to do this? Write it down. All right. Next is the 7 levels of why. So this is an exercise that I've done 2 times, and it was interesting for me because I realized after doing it that I did it for 2 different things in my life, and the reason why I was doing both of these things were exactly the same. The reason why I do everything that I do today is I want to be able to create a space where I get to be myself for myself and design a life for myself. And it's been a journey. It's still going, still working on it. But this is my guidance. Like, this is what I follow. And the reason why I'm doing everything else around is everything that I've learned along this journey, I am passing it on to those who want to do the same. And that's you right now. All right, so how this exercise works is, why do you want the change you want right now? So just write down on the first sentence, why do you want it? Okay. So I'll give an example for that one because it's a little bit, yeah. So why do I want the change that I want? So I want to share the knowledge I have so that others may benefit from it. Okay, that's the first level. Now for the second level, you take that first answer. So why is it important to you for that first answer? So for me, it would be, why is it important to me to share the knowledge that I have and to help others? My answer is, learning to live life for myself feels absolutely incredible. And I want others to feel that feeling too. Because when you feel like that, why not share it? I'm just laughing to myself. Because yes, this is, yeah, because, okay. And then the answer again, ask yourself, why is this important to you? So why, for me, why is it important for me that I share these feelings with others too? And my answer for this one is, when I've got scribbled all over myself. I can only read my writing, but this is a new one. Oh, here we go. Yeah. So when do I want others to feel amazing too? Because when you feel that good, then you show up in your day-to-day just way better as a true self. I mean, I'm going down. It feels very goody, making a world a better place. Yeah. And you keep doing this all the way down to the 7th level. So you answer it, and then why your answer, and then you answer it again. The first 3 levels is going to feel lighter, easy, and it's mostly from the mind because it's something that you've talked to yourself in. It's reasoning. As you get deeper into levels 4, 5, 6, 7, or 5, 6, 7, it's going to be an emotional reason, a heartfelt reason. Totally normal. If it takes time, it's fine. Do take time to do this exercise. It's not going to be straight off your head. So pause this right now and do the exercise. I said pause. No, you're not pausing. All right. Did you pause? Really? Okay. Let's keep going anyways. Next one, 4th. Fear setting exercise. Now, I really like this exercise because we have, well, fears, most fears are irrational. So it's that we have irrational fears. But yes, they are. And this doesn't, I was going to say break them down. It doesn't break them down, but it just removes the heaviness of the fear in a way that you cannot even fathom. It's just, yeah. This exercise is taken from Tim Ferriss, so I'm no credit on me whatsoever. Actually, a whole bunch of things I've been taking from things that I've learned left and right. So I'm grouping everything together and giving it to you in one go. So you don't have to look for it everywhere on the web. And yeah, you can find it on his blog. But yeah. So, fear setting exercise. Again, if you want to be able to conquer a fear or anything, you need to be able to define it. So, what's your worst nightmare? What's the worst thing that can happen? Great. You writing it down? Keep reading the PDF as well. Again, pause, take your time. You can re-listen to the audio, watch the video, and go through it at your own pace. And do it over and over again, by the way. This is something that I've done also myself. Parts of it and together as a whole worksheet with the people that I did in June 2020 and a little bit later too. But the fear setting exercise, I definitely recommend it. You can do it on its own as well for anything else that's coming your way. But yeah. So let's say that your worst nightmare happens. What are the steps that you could do to repair or lessen the damage that was done? Air quote damage. If it's long-term or temporarily, but what can you do to make it better? Because when something bad happens, it's always something you can do afterwards. So yeah, just write it down. What can you do to put it back under control? All right. Next. What outcomes or benefits, both temporary and permanent, are of the more probable scenarios that are going to happen should you take the change on? Because most of the time, our worst nightmare does not happen. Let's be honest. We always plan for things and overplan. That never happen. And then actually things happen a lot more smoother. And sometimes actually you need to figure out things on the go of things that you didn't plan for. So, but yeah. And now for a different mindset approach. If you were fired from your job today and you had to do something to get your finances under control, what would you do? So this also helps if you choose to quit your job and then you have to figure out sort of 1, 2, and 3 and get back on track. So yeah, go for it. Now, next one, 5. What are you putting off out of fear? Sometimes it's so small. An email. It's like, oh, I need to write that email. I need to do a phone call. I need to contact so-and-so. I need to do the research. And you're putting it off, off, off. And when you sit down and get to it, you realize, oh, actually it wasn't that bad. So what are you putting off? What is it? That little tiny actions. It's never big. Never take big. Well, big actions feel big, but it's actually tiny little steps that get to the big ones. Okay, so number 6, a little bit more reflection time on that one when you go through it. You're not taking the change. What is it costing you financially, emotionally, physically to not take that action? Because we always think about the things that we fear of, but we don't realize by not taking that action, you're missing out on a different type of life you actually want. Hey, Nobody said it's going to be easy, and I can guarantee it is not. There's going to be ups and downs, and you're going to think, what did I just do to myself? But in the same time, you're going to be creating something that you absolutely want, so it's worth it. But yeah, go back to that feeling also from like 6 months from now, nothing has changed. How do you feel? And think about everything that you could have done. All right, number 7, which is really a simple question, because if you've got like that itch in you to actually get into it, but what are you waiting for? What's the real reason why you're not doing this? Because we always wait for the right thing, more knowledge, more money, more connections, more this. The truth is, right here, right now, you have everything you need to take that next step forward. Yep, that's there. All right, you wrote this down. Again, pause this, listen it later. I'm going through this quite simple shortly. Just, again, there's a lot more written on the PDF, so if you have questions, I'd love to hear your feedback as well, or just reach out. You can find me on my website, tarabarot.com, and contact me there, or on Instagram as well, at Tara Barot, Tarabarot. And yeah, you don't pronounce it T. Right. Number 5, the next steps. So now it's making it happen. What are 3 to 4 actions you can be taking next to move one step closer to your goal, your change? Big, small, just write them down, 3 to 4. Got those action steps? Yay! And number 6, creating momentum. So think about a snowball effect where you're at the very beginning and you've got to start pushing that snowball and creating. So it's like baby steps, actions, and then you'll add on. The actions don't particularly get bigger and bigger, but that's because as the snowball rolls, it picks up more and more. So like you add more and more actions to it. So the actions aren't actually bigger and bigger. But yeah, so that's where you start. You're starting so small and then it grows. And there's a graphic as well. I'm going to show this a little bit closer to the video. It is reversed. If you're listening to the audio version, look at the PDF or go see the video. But yeah, so there's 2 types of actions and 2 kinds of results. Perfect action, well, doesn't exist because we wait for everything to be perfect and therefore nothing happens. And you hear crickets like this. Crickets. Now, the second one is imperfect action. And yeah, it's not exactly what you want, but you're moving forward in a direction. Sometimes there's a couple of loops and whatnot, but you are creating momentum. And that's what you want to be doing with everything that you're going for, a change or a big decision, is creating momentum. Because as you start get going, then you'll want to keep going. You've got to build that slowly. So in the next 24 hours, from the 3 to 4 actions you just wrote previously, what is one action you can take and make happen? Here we go. So thank you for listening, and I would love to hear your feedback. You can send an email at to hello@tarabarot.com. So that's hello@tarabarot.com. Or you can find me on Instagram at Tara Barot, Tarabarot. Yeah, and let me know what you thought, your takeaways, and if you have any more questions, if there's any part that you're struggling with or you'd like a bit more help on it, I would love to hear the feedback, because this is done for you and tailored. And yeah. All right. Till next time. Bye.